So a bit of background about myself and the team. I run a company called Weavee. We're a small HR technology business based in London. I do all the computer science, data science, all the technical stuff, which is essentially where the AI background comes in. My colleagues do a lot of stuff in motivational coaching, business engineering, psychometrics, and we do a lot of research with City University, and they're essentially helping us to deepen this field, which is actually quite immature in terms of its development. So at the business of Weavee, we understand that actually managers are the ones that control the business, and they control the employee performance and engagement. It's been proven that engaged companies perform they do perform 22% better than their competitors. And so what we've done is we've linked psychometrics to motivational analysis to understand whether the business is truly identifying and understanding if they're meeting the intrinsic motivators of people within the business. It's kind of a mixture between psychometrics, engagement surveying, and then weekly pulse surveys. And with that, we essentially help a business understand how to build engagement, but targeting the managers who are the ones that control the business. We're a small HR tech business, we're growing, and we're getting traction and coverage. We're trying to focus on getting EU H2020 funding, but in the light of Brexit, well, we'll see what happens. So I was deciding on what topic to talk about, and I chose to decide on how artificial intelligence could break recruiting for diversity. I chose artificial intelligence because it is an up-and-coming trend. A lot of disruption is going to happen over the next 20, 30 years in the way that people go about their lives and how it's going to be assisted by artificial intelligence. I chose recruiting for diversity because it is on the top of most CEO and top-level executive agendas this year, 69% according to Deloitte. Over the last 3 years, it's had a 32% increase in its demand. So any recruiters out there, this is the thing that businesses are looking for. I wanted to start off by talking a bit about the background of the language of recruitment. So diversity is about understanding the people, the variations in their background, in their mind, how they think, how they act. Psychometrics is about measuring the mind of the people, how they act, how they think, their personality, their intelligence. And then machine learning is about taking patterns and looking at data, then understanding how to make a recommendation to the business that will improve the efficiency over time. Diversity is really important. There's plenty of online research about this, and massive studies have been done on it. It improves innovation. Companies with diverse boards have higher financial performance than their competitors, and it's known to improve creativity in teams. I also think that diversity helps businesses reach their true client base. I'm going to use an example of my team. So we're a small team. I don't necessarily have the liberty of a massive talent pool to choose from. I need highly trained experts. We're a 20% female, 80% male company, and our clients are human resources, which is roughly 70% female, 30% male. If we want to appeal to that audience, we need to be bringing in people that fit our clients' needs. So something for me, I can set that as an agenda as I grow the company. Unfortunately, bigger businesses don't necessarily have this luxury. They have to do it in a different way. And the traditional way is through the recruiter, who goes out and finds candidates really fast, and the manager, whose job it is to measure employees, and then feed that data back to the recruiter so you can continue hiring more, better people. The issues with that is that as managers control most of the performance, we need to be making sure that managers are educated on how best to get diverse people in the business. And unfortunately, unconscious bias, which is the subjective decisions that we make without even knowing about it, Most people in the UK, for instance, haven't even received training on this topic. So businesses are choosing AI to solve this problem. It's been proven by Google that inclusivity and diversity lead to more performance in teams. And they're hoping to do that with artificial intelligence, 20% of organizations. Machine learning is really a pattern recognition. So the way that it works is you take a business requirement, you put in big data, you look for patterns, and then you receive a recommendation. And then you continue measuring and repeating for increased accuracy. And over time, you want the benefits of efficiency, speed, automation. It's a continual evolvement of optimization. Eventually, it might replace the human entirely, but I don't think that will happen. AI can be pretty dumb. It works on the principle that you put data in, and if it's bad data, you get bad recommendations out. And that will be a continuous, vicious cycle until everything goes wrong. The bad data could be anything from missing sections of information, choosing to use the wrong data set, or making assumptions on the data, which you don't want to be doing, especially in the field of data science. A really good example of this, 2 years ago, Microsoft released a robot called Microsoft Tay onto Twitter. Essentially, the job of the robot was to take data in from people tweeting at it. It would learn and then produce a result on, or it would start chatting with the audience on different topics. Unfortunately, the internet being the internet, everyone put in bad data. So this chatbot, doing what a chatbot does, turns into an evil, Hitler-loving robot because the internet polluted it. This is a good example of how bad data can produce bad results. So you want to make sure you're getting the right data. The actual technology works fine. In recruitment, the issue is exactly the same. So let's say we profile an organisation and we get the data from the organisation and we take its data. We find out that 90% of its high performers are 30-year-old, white, male, Christian from Harvard. You take the data on gender, age, ethnicity, religion, and you plug it into the AI. Well, the output of that is going to be 30-year-old, white, male, Christian, Harvard. That's the people you should hire, because the AI doesn't know any better. It's not really possible to use ethical AI in a localized environment in this organization. So what businesses are doing, they're turning to vendors to solve this problem, providing industry advice and benchmarks so that the AI can learn from a larger data set. Of course, if it's still learning from the wrong businesses, plugging in the wrong data, it's not going to work. So you've got to be very careful on the way that you engineer and the teams behind this technology. So what we do at Weavee, we look at cognitive diversity within the business. And this is called human capital. So it's the experiences, the skills, the abilities, and the personalities of people within the business, and then leveraging that data to understand how to get the most out of people. So you're trying to get a description of who they are as an individual, but you're not using any other data points. So I'm going to give you an example. The Big Five personality psychometric is similar to MBTI or 16 personalities or DISC if you're using those in your organizations. The Big Five personality psychometric measures openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. It's the most scientifically accurate, psychologically accepted model, and it's one that businesses should be adopting as they go forward. One thing to mention is that data should be obtained universally from the entire organisation. I've talked to and had conversations with, and some of our clients even just profile the top performers in the organisation because the psychometric is really expensive, and therefore they actively skew the data towards people they think are top performers rather than looking at the data critically, which causes problems in itself. A really good example of how this might work in an organisation or in different organisations is a value of the organisation is collaboration. That requires friendliness and gregariousness in order to succeed. You want to bring those people into the organisation. There's a 52% friendliness gap in the organisation. So the AI will hire 100% friendly people all the time because the answer is hire friendly people. Bringing friendly people into the organisation makes the organisation more outgoing, but the people can be easily bored. Bringing lower people into the organisation with lower friendliness could increase the client turnaround because people want to converse and get a sale quickly, but it can come across as unwelcoming. The recruiter's job in here, and this is where the human comes in, is to understand the cultural and environmental influences of listening to the AI and making sure that it is actually making the right decision. So a quick example of using this in a workflow for yourselves. Taking candidate cognitive data, purely the human capital data, plugging that into the role profile to receive a match, let's say 90% match. It is at this point that you plug in demographic data and you come out with your candidates. Candidate A will increase our gender diversity by 10%. Candidate B will increase our cognitive diversity by 10%. And candidate C will increase our client base match by 10%. The AI will make a decision, a recommendation on where it should go, or where the person should go, but it's still critical for the human to be in the process and decide what is actually the most important thing to solve. So I'm going to summarise quickly. Artificial intelligence is about handling huge data sets. It only does what it learns. It can build benchmarks, it's flexible to localised problems, and it will require a specialised vendor to do it. Human intelligence, the recruiter, is about handling small data sets, understanding the soft data, the people data, making localised tweaks, influencing the culture of the organisation and the people within the organisation to make it better. And it's also more flexible than AI. With the AI providing recommendations and the human providing the parameters and feedback for success, it creates a virtuous cycle of growth. And doing this, the AI and the human can work together to learn what's right for the company and for its people. Thank you.